Queensland opposition leader David Crisafulli has another answer regarding the state's youth crime crisis, a 3-week-long reset camp. Joining us live now, Qatar Australia's party leader, Robbie. Robbie, good to see you this morning. So we've spoken several times in the past about your ideas. What do you think of this one?
Oh, Pete, it's a shame they keep tinkering at the edges. 3 weeks, you're not going to achieve much for these kids. I mean, they've had hardcore values instilled in them from over 5, 10, 14 years, and trying to fix that up in 3 weeks is a bit of a, I think, misleading to say the least. So, we're talking about 6 months to 12 months, and most of the experts that work out there with these kids will tell you you're not going to achieve much under 2 or 3 months. And so it's a bit disappointing to keep sort of throwing these little things out there to look like they're new solutions, and people will maybe grasp them in the short term. But we know for a fact that those sort of things don't make the change that's needed to turn this youth crime crisis around. You need to send these kids a real signal. And if you're serious about, most experts say it takes 2 to 3 months just to dry them out or condition them to making their bed in the morning, getting up early, eating a meal, those sort of things. That takes, you wouldn't even do that within 2 or 3 weeks. No. So I'm not too sure what they're trying to achieve there. Well,
it's voluntary as well, right? And you're not alone in saying 3 weeks isn't enough to solve a problem that is fully entrenched.
Yep, and even a lot of the operators of these programs who argued with me at first saying it doesn't need to be mandatory, you don't need that sentencing option, have come back and said, we were wrong, you do. You can't logistically, even from a logistics point of view, you can't procure or get, gather up these kids who are, hard to pin down at best, and trying to get them and then getting parental permission or going to child safety to try and get permission to get them to go out just becomes unworkable for whoever's trying to run these programs and these camps. So without putting a sentencing option in there and some mandatory time, really it's just dog whistling and I think misleading the voters.
All right, Robbie, elsewhere today, you want to amend the state's abortion laws in the next term of Parliament, you and some others. What changes do you want to see?
Well, the proposition was put to us. I mean, Labor really wanted to make a big deal out of this, and, whether they believe in it or not, they just used abortion as a, political tool, I would argue, and rammed through stuff, so you can have abortions right through to birth. We've tried to say, can we even just have a law that you look after the planned abortions that are end up being born, that we care for them and give them some dignity after they're born, the planned abortions. And both Liberal and Labor haven't even supported that through the committee system in Parliament. So I'm not too sure that, I think, again, there's a fair bit of dog whistling from some of the Conservative right on the LNP, and I hope it's not. I hope they're genuine, and if they are, I said, if you want something to go into the Parliament, next Parliament, I'm your huckleberry. The KLP will put it in, and because we have a certain set of beliefs there, and we make no apology for that. That's what we stand behind, and we've made that commitment that we'll put it in the Parliament. So if people want to talk this time of before the election to try and procure those precious votes from the Conservative right, well, we don't do it for rights, we just do it because we believe in it.
So when do you think that should be allowed? What's? I mean, you mentioned there that late term is what others might be pushing for. What do you think the cutoff should be?
Well, I mean, you asked it as someone who's pro-life, so we don't like to see it at all. They wound it, I think it was like 16. It was like 16 weeks or something, and they wound it right out to like full term. So maybe that's the first step. I thought the best step was really just agreeing that we give some babies some dignity. Many of them die after birth, but even just giving some dignity and care after that. So we mandated that. I think that's the baby steps or small steps to working back in some sense, so that the baby's born alive. Bill, I think that would be the baby steps, and anything beyond there, mate. But it's I'm up for anything, and the KAP and the party stands behind me. So we'll see what happens. I think it's just important to let people know that believe in it sort of stuff, that there is a party that's willing to put their money where their mouth is, not just talk about it before election.
All right, we'll leave it there. Another busy day ahead for you, Robbie. Appreciate your time, though. We'll talk to you soon.